started. It's very strange talking to a camera. It's not like talking to a person. It's like if you're talking to somebody whose facial expression never changed. It's just a straight, not a fan. Man, this is always a bit of a stress monkey, especially since I have no idea what I'm about to talk about. I think I was going to talk about quarantine, This is, I feel kind of bad getting to say that I've taken a lot of pleasure being trapped inside all day. Trapped is a strong word, but, I don't know. I have things to mess with. I've got technology around me, video games, Netflix, and I really want to take advantage of this opportunity to learn, to spend time, focusing on my schoolwork, focusing on maybe even online classwork. Coursera's, full of beautiful information, just tons of it. It's free stuff everywhere. And I'm just not using my time to do much more than the things I kind of wander into. I started playing around with music the other day, which is cool. I like, I love music. All right. I love audio. That's what I love. All right. With audio, you're able to communicate the most emotion, the most real, connection from one person to another. I can take what's inside my head and put it into yours with my voice. And yeah, you can do that with visual, you can do that with, the visual arts are an incredible example of somebody like releasing what's in them and putting it out for the world to see. But audio is a way of doing it, I suppose more, I'm trying to find the word, I'm trying to find the right sound signal to send you so that you can grasp this information that I'm trying to send you. It's just got this fidelity to it. It's like high fidelity transmittance. I can tell you stories with audio. The reason why I love audio is that, I spent these last couple days, weeks inside with some, just playing video games with my friends. And we're on voice chats. We're on voice comms. And no need to video chat, but we're all still there with each other. We're all still having conversations. We're speaking and having a good time and being there. It feels like they're there with me, not within arm's reach, but it feels like they're there, and that's all it really takes is the voice. But of course, the words we use have their limitations, right? Like I was having this conversation with a friend the other day. There's no way you can reveal everything that's within you to the world or to even another individual. We just simply don't have the vocabulary to touch on every possible experience, because every possible experience is infinite. There's an infinite number of possibilities of which, you can experience, but our vocabulary is limited. We have a dictionary, we have a set number of words that actually make sense. With, the English language, that's the only language I know, there's a great deal of powerful messages you can send. But of course it has its gaps, and music fills those gaps. Let me try and rephrase that again. The purpose of music, as I see it, is to fill a space with the emotional substance that words just can't fit into. Something about a beat and a groove and like a set of chords can relay emotional information that words just can't. And that's the reason why I want to spend my time, I suppose, learning, mastering music. Mastering even is a strong word. I'm still a naive young boy. I played band a little bit as a kid. I sang in a choir for like a couple of months. But and I don't know much about these keys other than they transmit signals to my computer, and I get to mess around with some audio software and make some stuff sound pretty cool. So, mastering is a bit of a stretch, but I want to learn it. I want to use it as a skill to expand my ability to communicate with someone else, with you. And it's absolutely exciting. I love communication. Let me turn on this timer. Oh Jesus, 1 second, please. If I go over, who knows what could happen. I'm only going to film for 15 minutes. That's my limitation. Otherwise, I can make this completely unruly. Anyways, so I love communication. I love sitting in front of another human being and seeing their face while I speak. Maybe I just love the sound of my own voice. But I want to expand that in every possible regard, like I think it's important to be able to just reveal, share, I stumble across things in my time, perusing this great wide world web. And when I piece things together and piece together my own ideas, it just feels wrong to have them trapped inside of my head. And the mediums of exchange that I'm usually on, say Reddit, Instagram, just don't feel right for me. That's kind of the end of the story. It's just not me. I like to be able to speak, and I don't enjoy, posting images or typing things out. I like using my voice. But I'm going to diverge from this topic and take a moment to appreciate the opportunities, the situation that we're in. We're in quarantine. Shouldn't be going outside. The world kind of flipped on its head. Not even. I mean, we saw this coming. That's the scary part. We knew this would happen. We've seen throughout history, epidemics and pandemics, white people just out. And we simply did not take the precautions as a nation, as a nation to pull it off. And I was about to say as a world, but then you look at places like Taiwan, who, they're, right off the coast of China, or our China. They've got almost no cases, they're doing fine because they were able to establish their quarantines and stay safe. But here we are. We are looking at something hairy, ICU beds are filling up, hospitals are filling up, and that puts a severe strain on one of the most incredible and fundamental establishments of our time, and that's our medical infrastructure. One of the biggest reasons why we are able to live happier, healthier lives than our predecessors throughout history is we have the medical knowledge and infrastructure to enact that knowledge and keep people healthy and safe. And right now that's being pushed to its limits, absolute limits, and the fear is that it's going to break. We might be doing this for a while. It very much could be the case that quarantine lasts a lot longer than we expect it might. I've seen words on Twitter, a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, worst case. But given the state of our preparation for the virus, and given the behavior of the virus itself, anything less than containment poses an existential threat to anybody who wants to have a public life outdoors at the moment. It could be the span of months and months and months, and that is what's concerning to me. President Trump, from what I've heard, I'm not a journalist, I don't report on these things, is intending on releasing people back into the public to, carry out their lives and keep working their jobs. And to me, that's a horrifying proposition because people are going to die. It's plain and simple. People are going to die. The more people are in contact with one another, the more people are going to die. And, odds are low that person is going to be you. 1 in 20, 1 in 40, depending on the range that you're looking into, given that you've been infected. And absent all that other information. Imagine 50% of the United States population gets infected. That's 150 million people. 1 in 2 people gets infected. That's 150 million people. 1 in 20 of those people dying. Let me do some math real quick. 7.5 million people. 7.5 million deaths. 7.5 million human lives. And I don't know, that number is just so absurd. The number is absurd just to even try and wrap my mind around. It doesn't make any sense to me, it's too large. 7.5 million people. I barely know what a room full of 100 people looks like. And that's 1,000 1,000 times 7.5 of this. just a preposterous number. The concern is not that it's going to be me. The concern is going to be the people around me. I'm young. I know young people are not having that good of a go at it either, but I'm young. My lungs are quite healthy. I keep myself in good shape and I eat well. My mental state is fine. Everything's looking up for me to survive, right? But I'm surrounded by how many people that I know, love, and care about. My close people, perhaps 10 that I could list that I actually genuinely, capital L, love. And another, 100, 150 people that I know of that I would be deeply saddened and regretful of their loss. And give it a 1 in 20 ratio, I'm going to lose 5 of those people. That's the fear. Losing 5 of those people simply because we think it's a good idea to restart the economy. That's a horribly reductive way of saying that. Let me rephrase. We lose 5% of people because people need money right now. People need their livelihoods and they need their jobs. People are tired of being trapped inside already, and it's only been 2 weeks, and it's been a long 2 weeks for plenty. Let me go ahead and turn this off when I finish this thought. It's been a long 2 weeks already, and people are looking at their finances. They're looking at their livelihoods, looking at their ability to pay rent and feed their kids, and they're realizing the uncomfortable truth of it, that they're not going to be able to do that if they don't work. So suddenly we have 3 million unemployment claims. That's just the claims. That's a fraction of the people who are actually unemployed. And many of these people are going to have to sacrifice their health and the health of their family and the health of the people that they're close to go and get back to work. And part of that just doesn't seem right, People who are putting their time and energy into the things that keep society running, that keep us healthy and safe even though we're indoors. I'm talking, the people who work in trash and sewage, people who work in, like grocery lines and grocery, the industry, the people who are keeping me fed, the people who are keeping my lights on, people who are keeping my access to the internet available, like those people, and obviously the medical staff who are sacrificing their health every day, trying to keep other people healthy. They absolutely deserve our respect and admiration. I very much appreciate that. If we could reduce the risk of infection, it might be a good plan. It might be a good time, but I don't know. Now it just doesn't seem like the time. I don't think it'd be a good idea. We're looking at China right now. I heard, again, I'm not a journalist. Don't listen to me. Why do you even want? China right now just recently opened up their doors and said, come on out and, get back to work. And they're looking at an immediate spike in new cases, an immediate spike in new hospitalizations and deaths. So, I don't know. We're in a very tricky situation. It'll take some organization. It's a real thought. More thought than I've been able to put into this, over coffee video. All right, I'm going to tie up this ramble and say, wash your hands, stay safe, call somebody you love and tell them you love them, and enjoy as much as you can the excuse to not have to engage in the outside world. Although I deeply understand that this is getting old. I do. Fortunately, I'm lucky. I surround myself with things that keep me entertained. But entertainment just doesn't seem right now. This seems like an opportunity, doesn't it? Seems like an opportunity to do something. Now that I don't have to push myself, and then spend hours in my car commuting to school or anything like that. Is yawning a symptom? Oh God. It feels like I have an opportunity to do what I otherwise wouldn't have. I think it's nice. Alright. I guess that's it. Pretty good. Have a good one. Peace out, gang. I just mix it up. Goodbye. Alright, here we go. First I gotta put my... Oh, God, this squeaky chair. What a nightmare. I'm gonna sit like this. Take a sip of coffee. This will be my start trigger.